So, Leute, ich heiße euch willkommen zurück zu Hard West. Wir werden heute uns erstmal... Karte habe ich, glaube ich, schon gemacht, oder? Habe ich alles schon gemacht? Ja. Okay. Inventar. Ja, da machen wir das und das wieder rein. Der hat sogar, ne? Hier und hier. Ja, kurz was wissen. Ich werde die auf jeden Fall verkaufen, weil das bringt mir nichts, wenn die mich selber benommen macht. Das ist ja Talerkäse. Macht zwar gut Schaden, aber für einen Arsch. Ganz einfach. Wir werden heute mal Lagerfeuer machen. Ich habe noch nie das mit Proviant gemacht. Weil meine Charaktere müssen ja heilen. Moment. Kurz abbrechen. Ich glaube, die haben... Oder habe ich die jetzt schon geheilt? Nee, oder? Nee, habe ich nicht. Nee. Und ich habe halt vor heute, dass wir heute die Charaktere mal jetzt im Lagerfeuer alle ansprechen. Weil das habe ich echt noch nicht gemacht. Ich wollte es die ganze Zeit machen und es wird jetzt, glaube ich, mal Zeit. Wir gucken mal ganz kurz die Karte. Ja, ich glaube, da kannst du Wüste nennen, weil wir sind wohl voll in der Wüste gelandet. So, Lager. Wir machen mal, das ausprobieren wir gleich. Wir reden als erstes mal mit Flynn. Wir machen heute wirklich mal die Charaktere. Ich gucke, dass wir dann vielleicht noch zur Stadt gehen, wie halt die Zeit dort läuft. So, Flynn saß allein vor dem Feuer und starrte in die Flammen. Ich setzte mich neben sie. Ich versuchte eine Weile lang, das Geschehen zu verarbeiten. Mit mir stimmte etwas ganz und gar nicht. Ich konnte es spüren. Jin, etwas stimmt nicht mit dir. Jin, du hast mir den Arsch gerettet. Danke dafür. Okay. Flynn sah mich an, als wüsste sie, wovon ich sprach. Aber wie konnte sie es wissen? Ja, du siehst gar nicht gut aus, Jin. Hör zu, ich weiß, du schüttest nicht gerne dein Herz aus. Aber diese Sache, die Mammon mit dir und Clive gemacht hat, das war ernst. Wir müssen darüber reden. Jin, das geht dich nichts an, Kind. Oh.
You really are something else, Jin. You're so goddamn blind to everything that's not under your control that you can't see shit. Look behind you, asshole. You're casting no shadow.
Oh, er hat keinen Schatten. So, sie schürte das Feuer. Die Flammen loderten einen Moment lang heller. Ich blickte mich um. Es dauerte eine Weile, bevor ich es kapierte. Sie hatte recht. An der Wand, wo mein Schatten hätte sein sollen, war nichts zu sehen. Für das Feuer existierte ich nicht einmal.
No one cares if you believe in a soul or not. The name doesn't matter. It's not just you. I feel strange too. I still have a shadow, but it's looking damn ragged. Whatever Mammon did to us in the ghost train, he hurt all of us. But you and Kestrel, you got the worst of it. When it comes to shadows, you lost it all.
Interessant. Ich war sprachlos. Frage nach der Vergangenheit. Frage nach der Vergangenheit, genau. Okay, die Kapitel fehlen noch. Okay, machen wir
What else
Kapitel
you
1.
want to know, Jin? I already told you I was raised in an orphanage. I escaped that and I grew up on the streets of Mornwood till I joined up with the circus that came through town. That's where you and Kestrel found me. And that's it. I never knew my parents. The sisters at the orphanage told me that a lone man in tattered clothes and a haunted face left me on their doorstep. They say that was my father, and I have a feeling that wherever these powers of mine come from, they came to me through him. So, I'll find him one day, you know? When we're all done with this, I'll find him. The orphanage was hell on earth. I swear, those nuns were worse than Mammon's demons. They used to beat up us kids, starve us, lock us up for days. When strange things you know, started to happen around me, not a day went by when they didn't threaten to burn me as a witch. You want to know how I escaped the orphanage? I burned it straight to the goddamn ground. I started a fire and ran off in all the chaos. I was barely a teen then, but I still hear the screams of those habit-wearing bitches. I hope some of the other kids got free too. But compared to the orphanage, Mornwood was heaven. On the streets of one of the biggest towns in the Hard West, I just blended right in. And I liked that. Whenever I got into trouble, I had my witchcraft to help me. No one could catch me. Just imagine what jobs and cons I managed to pull off. But folks started to figure it out, and soon the law was all too interested in me. They put up wanted posters everywhere, accusing me of witchcraft and dealing with the devil. Can you imagine? A crazed mob of people searched every nook and cranny of Mornwood to find me. And you'll never guess who helped me escape. A local priest of all people. Guess not all people of the faith are assholes after all.
Also so interessant. Wie kann man die denn freischalten? Nicht genug Loyalitätspunkte. Ah. Das ist das Thema Loyalität hier. Ich hoffe, dass man das irgendwie freischalten kann. Weil es wird schon ist schon interessant. Also hier fällt mir wirklich die Geschichte. Okay, Chin, danke fürs Gespräch. Dann reden wir jetzt mit dir. So, ich näherte mich dir. Er grüßte mich mit einem kurzen Nicken. Jean, wie bist du in Brockton gelandet?
I jumped out the window at the same moment when you and Flynn vanished. Landed in a pile of snow. After I dug myself out, a rider in the distance saw me staggering around. Instead of helping me, he took off. Came back later with a whole mob of men.
Oh, jetzt sagt er gar nichts. Okay. Okay, dir dann. Ich rannte davon, aber sie holten mich ein und schleiften mich in die Stadt. Irgendwer erkannte mein Gesicht von einem der tot oder lebendig Plakate wieder. Und sie beschlossen, dass es einfacher wäre, mich aufzuhängen und an das Kopfgeld hier zu kommen. Frage nach der Vergangenheit. Okay, bei dem fehlt mir auch noch... Ja, bin mal gespannt, ob man so am Ende da irgendwo was freischalten kann, weil das wäre ja schon mies, wenn das jetzt nicht gehen würde. Dass man wenigstens am Ende dann sagen könnte, hier, dann könnt ihr das nochmal gucken. Aber gucken wir uns das Kapitel jetzt an.
Something is deeply wrong with you if you think you can just casually ask me about my past. Riding together, even killing together, does not give you that right. Even if I wanted to share my story with you, you could not possibly understand it. You are a stubborn one. Fine. I will speak. I come from the people of the Great Plains. Once, we were free. The horizon was ours. And we belonged to the earth and the sky. Everything was in harmony for generations untold. And then your people came. Not enough? You want more? If you think I am angry, you should meet Maka. His fury at the settlers who invaded our lands knows no bounds. He started a movement that spread among the tribes like a prairie fire. He called for our people to use any means at hand, even the foulest of powers, to drive you out or destroy you for good. The worst of our people flocked to his banner. They called themselves the Shadow Dance. I am no longer proud of it, but for a while, I rode with Maka and was part of his Shadow Dance. I bled for him, I killed for him, and when he asked me to do something unspeakable, I was all too eager to sacrifice my honor for him. Have you heard about the great leader Diving Bird? Everyone from every nation respected him, even your people. Rather than call for war, he worked for peace. He inspired people to hope that we might one day learn to put our conflicts behind us. He was a fool. As I said, Diving Bird was a fool. There is no coexisting with the settlers who ravaged our land and slaughtered our people. You are a sickness that will one day poison the very earth. Maka saw this. So, he sent me to kill Diving Bird. And I did. Yes, I actually killed Diving Bird. But once Maka saw the outrage this act provoked, he denied asking me to do it. Rather than take credit for this great crime and use it to fan the fires of the Shadow Dance, he cowered in fear of retaliation and let the blame fall entirely on my head. So I ran, and I am running still. What I did, killing Diving Bird, at the time, I believed it had to be done. Even after Maka abandoned me, I still thought it was the right thing to do. Now, I am not so sure. But I cannot change what I have done. I can only try to escape having to pay for it, like any other thief who cannot afford what they have stolen.
Ja, interessant. Ja, die Geschichten sind sehr interessant, aber jetzt fehlt halt mir, ja. So, genug geredet. Verlassen wir ihn. Mit dem Wiedergänger reden. Ah, das ist der Spill, ne? Okay, wir waren beide sehr interessiert an unseren neuen, frisch wiederbelebten Freund. Doch bevor ich irgendwelche Fragen stellen konnte, zerrte mich Flynn von dem Wiedergänger weg. Hast du deinen Scheißverstand verloren? Wir wissen nicht einmal, was er überhaupt ist. Wir sind mitten in Nirgendwo und müssen uns vielleicht schon bald dem leibhaftigen Teufel stellen. Und wir haben schon genug gute Männer verloren. Unter diesen Gesichtspunkten halte ich es für eine vernünftige Idee, mich mit einem harten Veteranen zusammenzutun, der nicht sterben kann. Mit deinen Talenten hast du ja wohl nicht wirklich das Recht, dich über andersartige Gestalten zu beschweren. Flynn fluchte, aber ließ mich los. Und bei ihm können wir alles machen, oder? Nee. Wow, bei ihm können wir aber richtig viel machen. Erzähl mir nochmal, was dir widerfahren ist.
Back in my breathing days, folks called me Old Man Bill. I've seen everything. Done everything the West has to offer. I've been an outlaw, a thief, a sheriff, a bounty hunter, hell, even an exorcist for a while. And now I'm... this. Whatever this is. After I retired, I lived on this here farm with my wife and my son. For the longest period of my life, I found peace. But it didn't last. One day, an old enemy of mine showed up at my door, determined to cross me off his list of debts to be paid. I killed 7 of his men before the last 3 wrestled me down and held me tight. Then he drew his gun and put me down like a dog.
Okay, Flynn, herrje, das muss Jahre her sein.
One day, I just woke up in that pine box buried in my yard. At first I thought I'd been dreaming. I remembered this vision of a train of death, driven by the devil himself, and chugging its way straight to hell. When he spotted me, he started to laugh. Laughed so hard, he woke me up. I don't know how long I was down there. An hour, a day, a week. The next thing I remember was the sounds of shovels, of you digging, and then I broke through.
Okay, aber irgendwie ist halt ein bisschen mehr. So, ja, Jin. Nur zu, Finn. Ich wette, er hat nichts dagegen. Und du bist wirklich tot? So, hier.
I'm afraid so, miss. I got no pulse. I don't need to breathe. My insides have rotted away. I'm little more than dust and bone. And yet, I feel this strange power in me. I don't feel the pains from growing old anymore. I don't feel much at all. Everything seems gray, and the world tastes like ashes. Yet here I am. I linger on.
Okay, nach seiner Vergangenheit fragen. Ja, Mist, dafür ihn auch zwei. Ja. Gut, machen wir halt das, was wir können und machen dann später mal ein zweites Ding noch. Oh, oh. Aber ob wir sie alle kriegen, wird sich zeigen.
I ain't proud of my past, Carter. I roamed around the whole hard west like my boots were always itching to move. Never settled down. At least not till that farm at the end. It's a hell of a tale. But I need to think some about how I want to tell it. In my outlaw days, I ran with this gang called the Cardinals. Oh, bloodiest damn gang in the hard west. I was young and stupid and just fucking despicable. And I loved every minute of it. To hold a gun on someone and know you have their life on the tip of your fingers, it's exhilarating. I loved riding with the Cardinals. But it came to a bad end. Our leader, Jacob, took this old book off of one of our victims and started reading it. First, he only joked about it, but then he started to quote stuff from it. Try some things with people we robbed. At the time, everyone thought it was hilarious, me included. One night, me and the Cardinals were taking it easy in this little town, spending some of our hard-robbed cash. Jacob was bored, so he broke out that damn book of his and summoned something awful. It set the town on fire and started slaughtering the townies as they came screaming out of their beds. Half of us embraced what happened. They just went right along with it. The rest of us, including me, scattered and ran. That business with Jacob and his book scared me straight for a bit. I lit out for parts unknown and kept my head down, working whatever jobs I could find. Took about 5 years of looking over my shoulder before I figured I was safe. At least the wanted posters with my face on them had all been taken down. I got braver again after that, and I got back into the swing of living. I drank, smoked, fucked, killed some, robbed some, but also saved some. And when I saw the chance, I hunted down Jacob and the Cardinals that stuck with him, and I wiped those abominations from the face of the earth.
Interessant, ja, das, ich weiß dann, hoffen wir mal. Wenn nicht, wäre es halt schon schade. Okay, das war, jetzt kommen wir zu Kalish. Ich suchte Kalish außerhalb des Lagers auf, um mit ihr zu reden. Kalish, Chinkata, wie kann ich behilflich sein? Kalish ist Verbündete, bitten um Wild zu jagen. Oh, okay. Ich bat Kalish für uns zu jagen und ohne ein Wort verschwand sie in der Wildnis. Eine Stunde später kam sie mit einigen Hasen und jungen Rehgepäck zurück. Proviant erhalten. Okay. Dann fragen wir mal nach ihrer Vergangenheit. Ja, ihre können wir komplett jetzt hören. Dann los.
I come from the northwest coast, where my people hunted whales and deer. We were prosperous and peaceful, and rarely had any trouble with any settlers. But that was before the Elkrut massacre. One of your wealthy men became interested in our land, rich in trees and pelts. He tricked the local settlers and the army soldiers at a nearby fort into turning against us, providing false proof of our supposed crimes against them. He also bribed a man from another tribe, Singing Fish, to live among us and sow trouble. Remember that wealthy trader I was talking about? He kept plotting against us for years. In the end, violence broke out. My people clashed with countless soldiers and settlers. Over 1,000 people died, including most of my family. How did I survive the battle that slaughtered my family? I ran away, leaving my family and friends to die. After wandering lost for days, I found shelter with distant cousins. I was only 10 years old then, and I still remember the smell of blood and gunpowder filling the air. The conflict became known as the Elkrut Massacre. A newspaper in Seattle sent reporters to investigate, and they discovered what had really happened. That damn fur trader got run out of the area, which I suppose was the smallest possible measure of justice. One day when I was 14, an old man named Maka came to visit my cousins and me. According to my aunties, he was always trying to stir up trouble. And when he saw me, he got the scent of it and refused to let go. At Maka I was telling you about, he told my cousins that I had spirits inside me. The 1,000 voices dead, he called them. The souls of the people who died in the Elkrut massacre, just waiting for me to unleash them so they can have their vengeance. The sad part, he was not wrong. Those 1,000 voices dead I was talking about, I didn't want to have anything to do with them. I knew they'd only bring more violence, more death. Rather than wait for Maka to turn my people against me so he could use the 1,000 voices dead for his own ends, I struck out on my own. I became a tracker and a hunter for hire, learning the ways of your people, learning what drives you. I'm still learning. I need to thank you. You were there to help me save Lala Naet, and she means more than life to me. For that, I will help you do what you need to do. I will help destroy that demon of yours. I've learned to trust and respect you, Jin Carter. And those are two things I do not do lightly. There is truth and justice within you, even if you try to deny it. Do yourself a favor. Flow with the river.
Boah, sehr interessante, auch traurige Geschichte von ihr, die alles miterlebt hat. Aber sie hat echt Vertrauen jetzt nach langer Zeit mal wieder zu jemandem gewonnen. Interessant. Okay. Dann mit Lazarus. Den haben wir aber leider nicht viel. Ich muss ein paar Worte mit Lazarus wechseln. Na, wenn das nicht der Mann der Stunde ist, nach seiner Vergangenheit fragen. Ja, da haben wir nur 2. Gut, aber hören wir uns trotzdem an.
You want to know more about me? I'm not worthy of your scrutiny. What I'm after, that's what's important. Solomon and I are deeply invested in all things supernatural. Though we come at it from different angles. He's a man of science, but me, I only care about keeping things in balance and revealing them in their own time. Where were we? Right. Balance. That's one thing the Hard West has lacked for a long time. But lately it's gotten so bad you can't even count on death, much less taxes. Just look at you, Bill, for instance. If death can't hold sway over people anymore, then what's ever gonna stop them? Death. Death is important, Jin. Don't you think? Death brings order to life. Just as all things have a beginning, they also need an end. One that we all must face, along with whatever judgment comes thereafter. And the fact that Mammon is messing with something so basic as that is more dangerous than you could know. Ever hear about the Undertaker and his son? Supposedly those two made pacts with the devil and death himself, then fought for the fate of purgatory itself. Of course, it's just a story. But folks say the Bible's just a book of stories too. Stories have power, and they give it to those who tell them best.
So, Leute, dann haben wir jetzt mit allen geredet. Ausruhen. Eine kurze Pause, Proviant. Alle geheilt. Machen wir das mal. Wir haben hier Proviant. Was soll ich jetzt meinen Stolz ausgeben? Können wir das mal machen. Völlig erledigt, schlief ich fast sofort ein und driftete ab in eine Welt voller halb vergessener Erinnerungen und sinnloser Visionen. Doch plötzlich sah ich ein Abbild Mammons, der von einer schwarzen Leere umgeben war und mich auslachte.
It's you.
Du?
Heard you want your soul back. You shouldn't bother. It's not much, really. Not that sweet. I liked the part about how you killed your own brother. Yeah. I like to circle back to that and slowly suck all the marrow from it. Even if you get it back, your soul will never be the same, Jin. Not after I've had my fun with it.
Yeah, I will get my soul back after I blast your brains out.
But please, be my guest. Keep chasing me. See how it ends.
Und mit diesen Worten war er verschwunden. Alle geheilt, Proviant verloren, ja. Lager abbrechen. Gut, Leute. Das war jetzt wirklich mal eine Folge, wo es nur um die Charaktere geht, um nichts anderes. Ja, wir lassen das auch jetzt mal hier auch so stehen. Wir sehen uns dann hier beim nächsten Mal wieder. Und dann werden wir diese Gegend hier erkunden. Das war's von dem Part. Bis dann und ciao.